Mooks, what do you think you having? A brother or sister? Sister? Brother? Teddy bear? Gummy bears? What do you think you having? A brother or sister?
I just pray. I pray they get along.
Oh, well, that's, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Okay. Good morning, y'all. I look a mess. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I've been crying. So I had a doctor's appointment scheduled for 8 o'clock this morning. It's 9:39, and we're sitting outside of the doctor's office parking lot. So let me explain to y'all. Got there, you know, this whole fiasco with my insurance has been pissing me off. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. If you didn't catch it last story time, here it is. Kendall started his new job. The principal did not put Kendall in like as fully hired. So when Kendall went in for the first day of school, which was like August 20 something, the principal, he didn't have a badge, and the principal told him, oh, I didn't fully enroll you, so you have to go to HR and all that. So it took Kendall almost 2 weeks to be fully employed and do everything that he was supposed to do to get back in the system, which means that our insurance was pushed back. Sorry, Mason's irritated. Which means that our insurance was pushed back significantly all the way till October 1st. So I had I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just gonna have to talk because when I hush, she's not gonna. Anyways, when I had an appointment scheduled for last Wednesday, I called the eligibility people to get the member ID and the group ID. They couldn't provide that for me, so the previous doctor that I had Masynn with was not willing to see me at all. So the previous doctor that I had Masynn with was not willing to see me. So I found a new OB, which I came to today. Got here today. They told me that the group ID and the member ID I had was incorrect. So I had to wait until the eligibility, which is through Kendall's job, called them and got the correct number. So they here can see that I have insurance active as of October 1st. But Blue Cross Blue Shield hasn't updated their system. So because Blue Cross Blue Shield hasn't updated their system, I can't get seen, or unless I pay it out of pocket, and I'm getting irritated. At this point, I was on the phone with eligibility, and I'm like, how long is it gonna take for y'all's information to get to Blue Cross Blue Shield for this to be right? 60 days. At that point, 60 days, even though I don't know how far I am in my pregnancy, we can only guess. 60 days is pretty much around the time that I'm about to give birth. I'm so irritated, y'all, because number one, again, okay, it's one thing to not know your due date. I don't really care to know the gender. I'll be surprised if I have to. But it's another thing to not know the health state of your child. One thing that's going to irritate me is when I finally get to see the doctor, if we, God forbid, if we see something wrong with the baby, that's something I could have done or they could have done a while ago to help the situation. That's my biggest fear. This whole thing is annoying. So my mom is telling me to just go ahead and pay it out of pocket, which it's just, I almost don't want to, because y'all know when it's time for you to get refunded your money, it takes forever in a day. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So if my insurance isn't going to show up active until 60 days, which is damn near January 1st, Lord knows how long it's going to take for me to process a claim and get refunded. Like, that's just my whole point. So Kendall, I was crying, and Kendall left to go back there to the doctor's office. I don't know for what. It's been over 20 minutes. So I hope he didn't get escorted by security somewhere, because I don't understand what's taking so long. Like, I'm just, oh my gosh, y'all, this is just stressful and annoying. All right, hey y'all, so yesterday was the most chaotic day ever. By the time we got home, I was finished. I didn't even want to do anything. Like, I was lazy the whole day. So I was just like, I need to pick up the camera today and let y'all know what happened. Okay, so, okay. I ended up paying, I'm sorry for the echo if y'all can hear that, but I ended up paying the $257 out of pocket to go to the doctor. You know, my biggest concern has just been wanting to make sure that the baby is okay. And so we went ahead and did that. So yesterday, the appointment that I had set was a ultrasound, not necessarily an anatomy scan, but I had an idea that I was pretty far along that I should know the anatomy of the baby. And then a nurse talk. So if you, I don't know if they do this at all practices, but I know the 2 doctors that I have been to in the past, once you go and you have a positive pregnancy test, they always make you sit down and talk to the nurse. The nurse is the one that tells you the whole layout of the doctors, what to expect throughout your pregnancy. They might give you samples and things like that. So that's what I expected yesterday. Okay, so we went back in. My appointment was set initially for 8 o'clock in the morning after all that mishap that you just saw in the previous clip. It got rescheduled for 11 o'clock. So around 10:30, we went back in there and we were waiting. I paid, we were waiting, we were waiting, we were waiting, we were waiting. It wasn't until like 11:30, the ultrasound tech came and got us. And when I tell you, this lady was just not friendly at all. Of course, I don't expect everybody to be happy, chippy, or happy-go-lucky all the time, but when you're at work, there's a certain type of demeanor that you need to have. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't need her to be like, oh, do you need a back rub? Do you need a bottle of water? But it was just like, Andrea Evans. And then she just stared at us. And Kendall and Masynn were coming back with me. And she was standing there for a little bit. And then I guess she got tired of waiting. So she just let go of the door. And literally it just like kind of hit me. And I'm like, okay, you're having a bad day, sis. So we go back for the ultrasound, and then she goes, okay, so when was your last period? And just like I explained to y'all in the pregnancy video, I told her about the May period and I told her about the June period. So I don't know when the heck my last period was. So she looked at me and like, she was looking at me weird. First of all, I know what I'm saying is not ideal, but I know I am not the only one that doesn't know like when her last period was. And I know I'm not the only one that has gone far in her pregnancy that has had this situation before. When I'm talking to some people, they're looking at me like I'm stupid. I know the situation might sound stupid, but you know, it is what it is. So she already had an attitude. She does the ultrasound. We're looking at the baby. She does everything like really, really quick. And usually, you know, sometimes you're in them ultrasound rooms for a while, but whatever. So we hear the heartbeat and she's not talking to us. I've been in, the only type of ultrasounds that I've been in where they don't literally speak to you at all is where you go to the ER and they don't say anything because they're not allowed to say something to you. But like, you know, other ultrasounds, they'll be like, oh, here's the baby's heartbeat. It's this beats per minute. Oh, there's the baby's arm. You know, just like she's not even keeping conversation at all. So Masynn was kind of whining in the ultrasound room. So I was like, Kendall, just go take her out. And she was like, I'm done. I'm like, okay. So she was like, you can wipe your belly. I wiped my belly. I'm like, okay, so how many weeks am I? Because she didn't even say anything. She was like, oh, it says 21 weeks and 1 day. So we officially know how many weeks I am. And then I was like, okay, did you see the gender? She was like, the baby's breech. So we were not able to see the baby's gender. And I'm like, okay, I already had a feeling that was going to happen. So then I was just like, so will I get another ultrasound, because I know typically you only get 2 ultrasounds. So I was just trying to make sure, because I know it was kind of late in the game, and she was just like, yeah, we have to know the anatomy of the baby. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she was like, just go and sit out in the lobby and the nurse will come and talk to you. So I said, okay. So as we were walking out, Kendall was just like, was she rude or was it just me? I said, no, she was definitely rude, but whatever. So we sit out in the lobby. I see Masynn starting to get, you know, typical toddler. She wants to get up. She wants to do things. So I'm like, babe, just take her to the car. I don't want y'all waiting here. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So finally, like the whole, whatchamacallit, excuse me, the whole waiting room is like starting to clear out, and I'm noticing people coming in, talking to the receptionist, and 5 minutes later they're being sent back. So at a certain point, when it was just me and one other lady, I go up to the receptionist and I'm like, am I supposed to wait, or did I, like, you know, am I supposed to come back? I was confused. And she was like, no, just keep waiting. So I'm waiting. It's literally 12:45 and the nurse comes out. She is the sweetest lady in the world. She just kept apologizing to me. There was like another emergency with the mom, which I understood. I mean, I was just tired, but I understood completely. And we had a good old conversation and everything, and she was just telling me how the practice went and everything along those lines. So everything's good, y'all. Baby's good, the heartbeat's good. I'm supposed to go in to talk to the, talk to the doctor on the 22nd. I'm gonna have to keep pressing this insurance because I don't have $200 and whatever every single time I have to come into the doctor's. And then also, you know, Masynn's 2-year appointment is coming up. Keep pressing this insurance people because this is ridiculous. The thing that's bugging me the most is just like, when we went to the appointment yesterday, the lady had her system pulled up and she could clearly see that we had enrolled in the benefits for this year, but it's just not showing active on Blue Cross Blue Shield's side. So everybody else can see that we're active, but not Blue Cross Blue Shield. So it's really annoying. It's really stressful, especially when it is coming out of Kendall's checks every month, but we can't use it. You get what I'm saying? So anyways, let me make sure, hold on. So this is the ultrasound of baby Refluxious, and I nicknamed the baby Refluxious because Kendall and I both decided that we were going to tell our mom the most craziest names and just say, oh, that's Drea's uncle's name, oh, that's Kendall's uncle's name, and see like their reaction out of it. You should have seen their faces like, oh. Like, no, that's not the baby's name. But oh yeah, so this is what the baby looks like. As far as I'm concerned, the baby is in perfect health, and I'm really excited to finally have some answers. We know that I'm 21 weeks. I turn a new week every Wednesday now, unless something changed later on, but I'm really excited. I finally feel like a real pregnant mama now, not somebody that's out here saying that I'm pregnant but have no proof. So yeah, they did draw blood yesterday as well, so they did tell me that if anything alarming came up, they would let me know either through the patient portal or they would call me. So, and I already told her, I already know like my iron's low. That's usually the only problem that I typically have when I go to the doctors. Is usually my iron and then my weight, which your girl's starting off lighter than usual. I have not put on any weight. I've actually lost 6 pounds since we went to the hospital, so I don't know. But anyways, let me show y'all a belly shot. And yeah, one thing I also wanted to say really fast, if you're not all for the pregnancy content, I promise y'all I have different types of videos coming up for y'all. I just had to get these videos out the way. So if you don't really care about pregnancy content or you don't want to see so much of it, there are other videos that are going to be coming up as well. But just so y'all know the videos to expect, I have a grocery haul coming up. I'm vlogging today, so that's something that's going on. I'm gonna try and do an inside the dressing room try on haul for y'all. I have a Q&A coming up, and I will be doing a pregnancy update, a 21 weeks pregnancy update next week once I've officially gone through my 21st week. But just want to let y'all know that. Let's get this belly shot in.
Excuse the mess on the counter, but here is the belly. It's still part fat, but that's what it looks like. I realized through my pregnancy with my daughter, I never showed my belly. So here it is. Here it is. All right, y'all, see you in the next video.